Welcome to another episode of RVCast. I'm really excited to introduce you to some new friends of ours, the Dry Campers. We actually met them all the way back in Elko, Nevada when we were doing our California loop. And we are now in Pennsylvania, just a little bit north of Philadelphia. And they just happen to be camping here as well. And so we decided to do a solar upgrade. Our RV came with the flexible plastic solar panels that are no bueno for the long term. And so we are upgrading to a glass-based rigid solar panel. And I'm really excited to get a bump and a boost in efficiency from our solar panels and to introduce you to the Dry Campers. So they've already come earlier and removed the old panels and prepped the roof for the install, and now the parts have arrived. And so as soon as Mike shows up with the tools that he ran to go get, then we'll get started and I'll introduce you to Mike and the Dry Campers. Oh, hey Mike.
Hey there, how are you doing?
Good, how are you? Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
So this is my new best friend, Mike, with the Dry Campers, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about the history of Dry Campers.
So I'll go back just a little bit further. I'm a 25-year low voltage electrician. I hold multiple active state licenses in low voltage security or electronics, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's about 5 years ago, I'm friends with Nathan and Marissa of Less Junk, More Journey.
Yeah.
And since 2016, I was their electrical handyman for solar. So Sparky did round 1 on their Airstream, and then I did round 2, and then their, what was that, an open range. He called me and says, hey, can you install this? I got all this equipment. And I'm like, sure, but one condition, I got to do it my way.
Yeah.
So I did a real pretty install for him, and then during that install, I was securing the name thedrycampers.com, 727 Dry Camp, all the emails and all that jazz,
right.
all the back end. I was creating that in between. I was like installing the solar panels, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll do that. And I'd stop, stand up, do it on my phone, and then go back to installing. So, yeah. But from my past, my actual background is low voltage security electronics, networking, all the back end, lots and lots of wires and rooms and stuff. So it's just something new for me to install.
Fantastic.
But that was 5 years ago.
Right. So in the interim, you have created a company that is it mostly mobile or all mobile?
It was 100% mobile until October 25th.
Of 24.
2024. That's where we landed in Jacksonville, just north of Jacksonville, Florida.
Uh-huh.
And we are going to be setting up a shop, putting down roots a bit.
Nice.
We still may travel a little in the summer. We were supposed to do this last year, but there was no summer work lined up whatsoever. So we did a loop of the country. And then now we have a stop in West Virginia and Missouri, and then it's Tennessee and Georgia, and then straight to Jacksonville. Just
Nice.
beeline from Missouri.
Sweet. So before it was you go to the customer wherever they
No,
were, or
no? Well, that was year 1.
Okay.
I spent so much money in fuel and miles. It was a lot. It was a whole lot. At least the gas was cheap.
Right.
That was during the lockdowns.
Sure.
So I was an essential electrician.
Yeah.
Because solar, electrical,
Yeah.
whatever. So I was still able to travel. I never had anyone stop me randomly, but there was no traffic anywhere. So it was truly awesome to travel. It was, we would go for an hour and not see another car.
Wow.
It was awesome. But not awesome for the circumstance, but just for travel.
Yeah.
Gas was cheap and all that jazz. But then we changed the business model to be where we have a route, and then we publish where we're going to be and when we're going to be there. We're real close to there. And then people would meet us along that route.
Nice. And meeting was exactly what we did. Mm-hmm. We originally met in Elko, Nevada, and just happened to be staying at the same spot. And we started talking shop, and I'm like, oh, I've got the best, coolest solar panels. See, they're these plastic ones that crack when you bend them, and they turn yellow. It's really cool.
It's a new fashion.
Yes.
Don't worry, it goes out of fashion quick.
And Mike's like, Yeah, we need to.
We should intersect again.
Right, right. And then, and it was after we had some major overhaul at the dealership. Very expensive, very time consuming, and but not completely working the way I want to. So Mike's going to dive in. He's going to figure out what it is that we've got currently, what needs to be done to fix it, and we're going to upgrade our solar panels from those flimsy plastic ones to ones that will actually have a little bit more stability.
Gotcha. Yep. We're going glass.
Yep. Fantastic. So I'm excited to show you about the progress of what we're going to do. And in the meantime, goodness, if you're in the Jacksonville,
just north of Jacksonville, yep.
North of Jacksonville, Florida, in that area, if you need some electronic work done, if you need to upgrade those solar panels, remember solar panels age. They start losing efficiency with significant age, and they just need to be replaced.
Yeah.
And if you've got the plastic flimsy ones that Tracy and I had or have currently, and are going to get those replaced, look them up, because they know what they're doing, because this is what you do.
Yeah, literally. I mean,
it's not going to the dealer and the dealer's like, oh, I've got to know how to do the propane stove, I've got to know how to do the hookups for the water and everything. Oh, and by the way, we do electrical too.
Yeah.
It's rather than a jack of all trades, you are
specialized. We're electrical, yep.
Yeah. And a large portion of that is solar.
Yeah.
And you do lithium as well.
Yes. Yep. Only.
Only.
We will not install, we don't do systems with lead.
Nice.
Lithium only, period.
Nice. And so if you're looking to upgrade or looking to get some refurbishment to just make sure that it's working at its peak, give Mike and the Dry Campers a shot. Jacksonville, just north of Jacksonville, Florida. So we're going to head there eventually later this year. Jacksonville, we'll pop through and say hi again to the guys if we're in the neighborhood, and if you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to show you what they're going to do to the van.
Awesome.
So what do we got here, Mike?
Okay, so this is the second time we're in here after doing some diagnosing and figuring things out. What we found was there were some existing circuit breakers that one of them was faulty and had basically melted, and the took a little bit of time on shipping to get some new ones in. We're going to take and make this a little more secure. So I've got some wiggly stuff here. We're going to make that secure. We're going to add the new breakers in. Then we're going to reconnect your DC to DC, which is this box here. Once that's reconnected, then you'll be able to charge off the alternator like you're supposed to. Then down in the hole, we're going to get the solar charge controller, the factory one, and we're going to upgrade it to a Victron piece. There are already 2 other Victron pieces in here, that way so that you'll have all 3 parts. The battery, the inverter is now Victron, and the solar charge controller. Once you have all 3 of those, then you have the ability to monitor all of your power coming in and going out, including going into your stored bank as well, your batteries. So once we get all of this put in here and get it all turned back on, we'll check back in a few. Just another update. So we're knee deep in this, and I determined I wasn't going to replace this board right here. This one right here I wasn't going to replace, but I went ahead and replaced it. So now we're good. We're mounted. We're solid. And then in removing all that stuff and going to the level that I did, I found this, which was sitting right here, and whenever the RV was on, and it was on. But the problem is this went down to 175 fuse. This side was hanging out down over here with tape, and it was live. Just a few wraps of tape, and you have a live wire. And this was done like 6 or 7 months ago, was this installation. They removed an existing inverter, and they didn't bother to make the existing feed for it dead. So this has just been riding around on top of the fender well, which has aluminum foil sound dampening on it, which is a ground. And this was riding on that. So there was a lot of money spent on the installation. I'm not going to say who the installation was because that's not what I do. But just because you paid a lot of money for it doesn't mean that it was done right. Hire the guy that knows what he's doing. All right, so you're all wrapped up.
We're all set, huh?
Yep. This one
Great.
here was just taped on one end, but still live. So I'm going to give that back to you.
It's not live now.
No.
Okay.
No.
I only say that because back in high school, the hey, bud, answer. Yeah. So fantastic. So what all did we accomplish here?
Okay, so the backer board, replaced that, put in angle brackets and made it bigger. Completely went through all the wiring that was there. Got rid of a couple of key points.
And not only just because they weren't necessary, but this was a safety issue.
Yes, one end was live and just had tape on it.
Unreal. Unreal.
Power going through it?
175 amps.
175 amps. That's enough to charge,
To light me on fire.
to light Tracy on fire.
It's enough that if it's sitting there arcing over time, that's definitely a fire hazard.
Right.
Yeah, just with tape on it. Like if it had this heat shrink on it, it'd be safer.
Right.
But it really should have been disabled.
Yeah, for sure. So glad that was done.
Yep. And then we upgraded your solar charge controller.
Nice.
So the factory little epoxy block that is the factory solar charge controller, we went with a Victron piece. You already have other Victron components. Now it's all in the same app.
Nice.
So it's seamless there. We did add a solar shutoff now so that if you need to, whenever, like if you want to power the whole rig down, that's another thing that you can do is now turn the solar off.
Nice.
Kind of a necessary part of it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have before.
No, you did not.
But I should have.
You should have, yes.
Yeah.
Because if you're working on it in the day and you kill your kill switches and then you go to do something, the lights are probably still going to be on. If you're in a sunny environment, you would have to take blankets and throw them up on the panels on the roof.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad to know that because where we home base out of St. George, Utah, the sun shines there like 360 days a year.
Cool.
So completely redid the solar panels.
Yes.
Added a solar controller.
Yes.
Cleaned up all of the wiring that was a safety hazard and also a system hazard because it could have fried other components.
Correct.
And now I've got a single app to follow my shore power, my alternator power, my solar power, and all inputs and outputs.
Correct.
So that I know what's going on all in one place.
Last thing is we replaced those 2 fuse blocks. Got rid of the car stereo stuff and put in actual fuse blocks.
Right.
Just
Nice.
as you should. You oughta.
Right.
Yeah.
So fantastic. You know what? I can't emphasize enough, when you need knee surgery, don't go to don't go to a general practitioner, right? When you need electronics done, don't go to the dealer. Go to an electronics specialist. And I can't recommend anybody higher than the Dry Campers. Mike,
Thank
it's
you.
really been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
So, and best of luck in your new place, Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
And check the show notes for a contact on how to get in touch with them. And hey, I highly recommend these guys and hope that you have safe journeys and safe upgrades on your electrical. Okay, so a little bit of time has passed. We had the install of the upgraded solar panels and the repairs done on the charging system. That was done all the way back in Pennsylvania, and we are currently in Maine on our way up to see the fall leaves. And I wanted to take a little bit of time before we ended this episode to be able to report on how it worked out. And let me say, it has been wonderful. I mean, the peace of mind knowing that they repaired some of the things that really could have been a danger to us, that was left by the dealership that did the initial upgrade. And then also the game changer for me was that they made it possible to where the alternator is able to recharge our batteries, which that was not happening before. And we're getting some good solar charge and of course the alternator charge. So anytime we drive, we pull into a place and our batteries are 100%. So it's been fantastic. I couldn't recommend more the dry campers. So check them out, give them a call if you have any needs for solar upgrade or lithium upgrade or repairs. Like I had both. They did a fantastic job, well trusted, and they did it very economically, very fair. I couldn't recommend them more. So, hey, I hope you enjoy this tip and that it works for you if you run into the same troubles. And hey, we'll see you on the road.